And make sure you have all your props and homemade comforts that you need. So your cushions, blankets, pillows, perhaps a low footstool. Sometimes that's quite useful for raising your feet or raising your back on. I've obviously got some bolsters, but if you've done the yin homemade prop video, then you'll have your own homemade bolster, either with a comforter or a very light duvet rolled over quite firmly, or layers of towels rolled around each other, or perhaps a pillow, firm pillow, or a couple of softer pillows rolled up and tied together. So hope you've created your own useful props. Okay, I think we might be ready to start. Place your blanket underneath you if you want a comfortable seat, so that when you're connected with your mat, it's warm and soft. Let's come into our easy pose, Sukhasana. So sitting on your block, even you're sitting on your bolster if you choose, just put that out of the way for the moment, or a folded blanket. And ground down through your sit bones, lengthen through your spine, lift your crown to the sky, roll your shoulders up towards your ears, and then deliciously slide them down and away. Let's bring our palms face up or face down, thumb and index touching your Gyan Mudra. And let's just arrive on our mat for the moment. So these first few moments of our practice are about settling into our physical self, arriving on our mat. Your eyes are softly closed or gazing down towards the earth. You're turning inward in preparation for your yin practice. Let's take an opportunity that we have now to connect with our breath. As we know, the bridge is the breath. The breath is the bridge between the mind and the body, helping to still our thoughts, clear our minds, help us to connect to our rest and digest mode. So inhaling through your nose, noticing the journey that your breath takes as you breathe in. Exhaling out through your mouth, noticing the breath and the journey it takes on the way out. In through your nose, out through open mouth, as if you're gently sighing. In through your nose, out through open mouth. Making that gentle ha sound. Let's drop into our heart space. So just connect with your heart for a moment. In your mind's eye, visualize your heart space and place a light there, any color of your choosing. So for the Anahat chakra, the heart center, traditionally associated with the color green. So perhaps any green of your choosing. And just allow that warm color to permeate out through your heart center. And I invite you to connect with your intention for your practice, your resolution for your practice, thinking about why you've joined in your practice, what it is that you need physically, mentally, emotionally. And you can use this practice to nurture and feed this intention. Silently repeat to yourself in the present tense your sankalpa, your heart's desire. I choose, I do, I am. Perhaps I am calm and relaxed. I am positive. I am strong and healthy. I am happy and content. I am loved and full of love. And repeat it silently to yourself 3 times in the present tense. And then take a full breath in through your nose, wash it out through open mouth. Bring your hands together at your heart center in prayer, Namaskar, Pranam. We'll open our practice by chanting Om 3 times. Inhale together. Exhale completely. Inhale to prepare. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Hands to your eyebrow center. Namaste and welcome. Namaste and welcome, everyone. So thank you for joining me today. We're going to have a more peaceful practice than previously. We're going to connect with our heart, love and compassion. And we did this last week, and I just wanted to work with it a little bit more this week, especially as the weather has turned. And connecting with the heart chakra really helps to welcome and accept with compassion any changes and the way that we feel about those changes. And we know that, especially if you're in the UK, we're expecting an announcement today about what's happening over the next few weeks. So there might be some anxiety and some worry. There might be a sense of anticipation. So we're going to drop down into our heart space in order to prepare for emotionally and mentally and physically for changes that are coming. So we're going to open with tapping. We introduced tapping last week in emotional freedom technique. And tapping is really to stimulate all our meridians and mama points. So in yin yoga, it's a form of Hatha yoga, which is what we normally practice, the vinyasas, but it's much slower. We get into a pose and we hold it. And by holding a pose, what we're doing is really stimulating at a much deeper level the meridians, energy channels along which chi or pran flows, vital life force. By tapping on different points, we're connecting with different connections to that meridian point around our body. So we're going to start with our karate chop, which is the side of your hand here. And take 4 fingers and just tap gently on the karate chop. And tap 3 to 6 times. And as we tap, connect with your intention for your practice. So we've been working with loving kindness. So you could be, I am healthy and happy. I am healthy and happy. I am healthy and happy. And now we're going to go to the top of our crown. So you have a very soft the fontanelle at the top of your crown, just on the side of that. It's not in the soft place at the center, but on the side of it. Just tap with both hands. And perhaps here you might connect with, my thoughts are calm, or calming and peaceful. My thoughts are calming and peaceful. My thoughts are calming and peaceful. And now we're going to come down to the inside of our eyebrows here, just where they meet at the nose. And you can take 2 fingers here. You can do both sides or one side, it matters not. The meridians are parallel on both sides of our body. So I'm going to do one side here. And now I'm going to go to the outside of my eye, just at the end of my eyebrow, where you can feel the bone in which your eye sits. And then underneath the eye. So I see clearly. I see clearly, I see with clarity. I have insight. something perhaps to connect with your vision, your intuition. And now we're going to move to the lip, so just above the lip, underneath the nose. We're going to tap here, and perhaps here you connect with the spoken word or your interactions with others. So I speak with truth and kindness. I speak with truth and kindness. Underneath your lip, so just on your chin. And perhaps here you again connect with language, your communication. I make myself understood. I am understood by others. I communicate my heart's intention. Any words of your own choosing. From here, we're going to move down to our collarbone. So here you have your collarbones, and now we can bring both hands in here, and again using all 4 fingers. Now we're working closer to our heart. So you might want to drop down into your heart space and connect with the I am full of loving kindness. I show love and understanding to others. Now we're going to go down to the sternum here. So just where you can feel the sternum, again, you can use both hands here. My heart is full of joy and happiness. My heart is full of joy and happiness. From here, we're going to move to the under the armpit, and it matters not which armpit. So just here where your bra is, tapping underneath there, maybe moving up gently, up and down. So the heart meridian runs from here across our chest, comes underneath our armpit. And then it's going to travel down the outside of our arm. So if you go to the top of your shoulder, traveling all the way down the outside of your arm to your little finger. And then once we get to the little finger, turn your hand and tap the inside of your little finger, your wrist, back up on the inside of your arm to your elbow, up to the inside of the arm. And now let's go the other way. So let's go to the other armpit. And then let's travel up to the top of the shoulder, down the outside of the arm. This is our yang side, our more active, dominant side, all the way to the little finger. So you might travel up and down a couple of times on the outside. And then let's turn our palm and travel on the inside of our little finger to the wrist. A few times on the wrist, inside of the lower arm, inside of the elbow, back on the inside of the arm, under the armpit. And then back to your karate chop. So maybe do the other hand. So if you remember which hand you started with, you might go to the other hand now. And again, as you're tapping the whole time, connecting with your intention, with your heartfelt thoughts or prayers. And then let's come to stillness. So let's release our fingers. Let's just shake our hands out. Roll our shoulders back and forth. And let's prepare for our first pose. So we're working with our heart pose, heart chakra. So we're going to come into a butterfly. So this is where I invite you to. So if you want to place your blanket on your mat, if you haven't already, please do that. Make it extra cozy. And we take the time we need to set up, because we're going to be in the poses for 3 to 5 minutes. And so we want to make those poses really comfortable. Now, you can either use, so have your homemade bolster or your pillow, have some cushions and create a little pile of cushions here. So I can use these 3 cushions. Yes. I'm going to take my bolster and place it at an angle on my cushions. Now, it doesn't matter how steep that angle is. The higher it is, the more supported you might feel. The lower it is to the ground, the more intense the heart openness. Find a variation at an angle that you're comfortable with. And then let's bring your lower back up against the bottom end of your bolster or your pillow. You can have your eye pillow ready as well. And bring the soles of your feet together so that you create a diamond with your knees, diamond shape between your knees. Placing your hands alongside your body, you're going to gently lower your back onto your bolster so that the whole length of your spine and head is supported by the bolster. Now, if you feel like the back of your neck feels constricted and your chin is lifting up into the sky, then you probably need to bring a blanket to the top of your bolster so you create a little pillow. So I'm going to place my pillow there. And that's much more comfortable for the back of my neck. My chin is slightly tucked in. Soles of my feet are connected. My palms are face up, so my arms are loose and just slightly away from my body so that I'm not creating too much of a heart opener, but just a gentle angle here with my arms. In yin, we want to find the variation that suits us. So we might be low or we might be higher. If our legs like this don't feel comfortable with our soles together and our legs open, we can bring the soles of our feet to the earth and have our knees bent so that we're sitting like this variation. So you have two variations with your legs. You can have any angle for your bolster, depending on how many cushions you place underneath it. Your chin is ever so slightly tucked in. And you can place your eye pillow across your eyes here. Or perhaps a scarf or a thick woolly sock. And then settle into Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose. Allow the weight of your upper body to be supported by your bolster, your cushions, your pillows. Know that the earth is supporting you. You are held here, your heart space is open. We'll be here for 3 minutes. And as you rest here in butterfly, with your heart open, connect with the sense of kindness, of compassion, of understanding for yourself and others. You can create a short sentence, a mantra, an instrument of the mind, or you can just use one word. And whenever your mind wanders or you become distracted, or you start thinking about what you've done this weekend or what's coming ahead of time, just focus on these 3 words: kindness, compassion, understanding. Maitri, Karuna in Sanskrit. Take full breaths here. So as you rest here, draw the breath down into your belly, allowing your belly to expand and open and rise. And as you breathe out, draw your navel to the spine, allowing your belly to sink, fall, contract. That Dirga Pranayama, that 3-part yogic breath here. Inhaling, and notice how your belly fills and expands with air. Exhaling, drawing your navel back towards your spine, your bolster, your pillows. Make every breath count. Perhaps you breathe in kindness. Exhale, compassion. Perhaps you breathe in understanding for self. You breathe out understanding for others. Using your breath to connect with your positive affirmation, the mantra for this practice. Three more breaths here. And then with minimal disruption to your nervous system, maintaining this calm that you have created, this tranquility, place your hands, your palms face down on the earth. And perhaps you roll over onto one side first. And just rest there for a moment. Let your eye pillow fall if it begins to slide off your face. Then rest on your side. Keeping your eyes closed, inhale to rise up with helping hands so that you bring the side of your hip here to your bolster. Now I have my right hip to the bolster. If you're facing me and you have your left hip to the bolster, stay there for the moment. We want minimal disruption. So you're most likely, if you're looking at me, you may well have your left hips on. Just do whatever is the right side for you. So your hip is against your bolster. That side, that leg, your shin is parallel to the long edge of your mat. The other leg is creating a zigzag so that that shin is parallel to the short edge of your mat. You have a zigzag shape here with your legs. Inhale to lengthen your spine, lift your crown. As you exhale, you're going to turn towards your bolster from your hips and waist here. Place your hands either side of your bolster so that your heart space is coming over your bolster. And then on your exhale, lower down and bring your ear to your bolster. Soften through your shoulders and your arms. Turn your palms face up. That will help you soften. And then allow your bolster to hold the weight of your upper body. The twist is here in your abdomen. Your heart is supported. Your head is supported. If you want to intensify this stretch or this twist, you can always turn your head away from your legs so that your opposite ear comes to the bolster. That will feel like a more intense twist. You'll notice how it changes the sound of my voice because that twist is now corkscrewing all the way up from my lower back, all the way along the length of my spine to my neck. So check how that feels for you. Again, we'll be here for 3 minutes. This is called deer pose. And again, connect with your sense of kindness, compassion, understanding for self and for others. Use your breath. Breathe into your abdomen. Perhaps you inhale one word, exhale another word. Yin is a very meditative practice. The longer we hold a pose, the more opportunity there is for the mind to go into stillness. Those gaps in between thoughts become longer. The thoughts still come and go. We're less concerned about the thoughts coming and going. It's those gaps in between the thoughts that we're working on. My doggy with hay fever. Few more breaths here. Inhaling, turn your palms so they're face down. Press into your palms and lift yourself off your bolster. Turn back to center, and then let's exhale over to the other side just to counter twist for a moment. And now from here, we're going to come so that we have the bolster behind our back again. And we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. And we're going to come into a forward folded butterfly here. So you stay here as you are, or you can always reach for your bolster and bring it in front of you. And stand it up so that you rest your eyebrow center at the top of your bolster. So this is quite a very easy forward fold. You have an option of perhaps angling your bolster slightly further away and hugging it so that you come into a deeper forward fold. Perhaps you place your bolster flat on your feet and then fold over so that your eyebrow center rests on your bolster. So come into a variation of this butterfly with or without your bolster. And if you have your bolster, it's either standing upright, resting on the earth or on your feet. Perhaps it's resting slightly at an angle, in which case you will need to hug it to keep it in place. Perhaps it's lying on your feet, flat, so that you can rest your eyebrow center on it. We'll be here for 3 minutes. Again, come into your variation, find your edge, and then you stay in your edge, gradually extending that edge with your breath. Yin works on our deeper connective tissues, so the tendons, the ligaments, the bones, gradually creating more range of motion. And that change might be imperceptible, very small. But you'll notice how at the end of the practice, you feel as if you have more space in between your joints. So now you're focusing on the back of your heart space here in this variation of butterfly. So breathe into the back of your heart. Again, connecting with kindness, compassion, understanding of self, understanding of others. Breathe in one, breathe out another. Breathing in kindness, breathing out compassion, breathing in understanding of self, breathing out understanding of others. 3 more breaths here. And on your next breath in, inhale to lift your gaze. And depending on where you are, begin to unfurl your spine so that you come up more upright. And we're going to turn the other way now. So we're going to do deer pose to the other hip. So you'll just turn around. So we've just basically done a little turn on our mat. Place your bolster back on your cushions so that now your other hip is up against the lower edge of the bolster. Zigzag your legs so that one shin is parallel to the long edge, the other shin parallel to the short edge. Lengthen. Exhale. Turn your heart over your bolster, hands on either side. And then gradually lower your heart onto your bolsters. Again, bring your ear to rest on your bolster. Turn your palms up so you relax more here. If you want to create a deeper, more intense twist, you bring the opposite ear to the bolster so that your head is looking away from your neck. And then close your eyes. Find your comfortable edge. Choosing which ear you rest on. Allow your neck, shoulders, arms to soften, palms face up, fingers gently curled. You can always cover yourself with a blanket should your body temperature start cooling and dropping down. Perhaps wearing socks on your feet if your feet feel cold. Yin is a cooling practice. It's connected to the lunar cycle, the moon, the feminine energy in all of us, whether we're male or female or non-binary. We all have feminine energy, more nurturing, receptive, cooling, perhaps the darker side of our selves. Breathing into your abdomen, noticing all the points of where your spine is twisting. Being mindful of that choice about which ear to rest on your bolster so that you still feel within your comfortable edge. Any twinges, pain, discomfort, want to come away from those negative sensations. We want to just naturally allow our body to soften into these poses rather than forcing extension or flexibility. Three more breaths here. Whichever variation you're in, inhale to turn your head back towards your bolster. Place your palms flat on the earth and with helping hands rise up. And then let's counter twist to the other side just for a moment by placing your hands on your foot and knee. And then inhale back to center. So if you're now facing away from your camera, let's turn gently back. We're going to come into a heart opener. So let's move our bolster to one side, coming into melting heart. So you're either going to use your bolster or your cushions here. I'm going to come onto our knees. So make sure you have padding underneath your knees. And you have your cushions here. Now you need to create a height that works for you. So I'm going to use 2 cushions because I know that might work quite well for me. You might want to use 1, you might want to experiment. See what you want to do. Come onto bring the cushions underneath your heart space. So you'll see that my cushions are right underneath my heart space. My elbows are underneath my shoulders. So I might have a little bit of a gap between me and the cushions for the moment. But then as I walk my hands away from me and reach along the mat, my heart melts more onto my cushions. Now my eyebrow center will either rest on the earth. If it doesn't feel comfortable and your eyebrow center is not resting on the earth, perhaps you add a cushion there so that you have 2 cushions and then 1 cushion that's lower there. And then try that And see how that feels. So that your heart space is resting on slightly higher cushions, your eyebrow center on a lower cushion. This is a deep heart opener, so there will be a sense of tension in your arms here. So when I say tension, I mean that you will be feeling a stretch here. If it doesn't feel sustainable with both arms, you can always fold in one arm and rest your eyebrow center on your folded in arm and have one arm extended along the earth. So you'll be having one arm folded, resting with your eyebrow center. It doesn't matter which way, we can turn and switch those arms around. So first, experiment, see what works for you. This is Anahatasana, melting heart pose. So I'm going to fold one arm. I'm going to reach the other arm along the earth. That feels sustainable for me. You might have both arms along, reaching out in front of you. Your tailbone is lifted here slightly. We're not here for very long. This is a more challenging pose, the deep heart opener. We'll be here for another minute. So if you have one arm extended and the other one folded in, now is a good chance to swap arms. So fold both arms in first before unfolding and extending the other arm. If you have both arms extended and you are wanting to ease away from your edge, you can also bring one arm in. So you don't have to stay at your edge. If your edge doesn't feel comfortable any longer, then you can always ease back from your edge. Connect with your intentions for your practice. Perhaps you connect with our mantra for this for today: kindness, compassion, mati, karuna, understanding of self, understanding of others. We'll be here in Anahatasana for 3 more breaths. And then ready, we're going to fold in one arm if both arms are extended. We're going to fold in one arm, followed by the other arm. And then we're going to sit back towards our heels, walk our hands back towards our body, and we use our cushions out at our heart to rest our eyebrow center on them now. Our hands are alongside our body, palms face up. So we're here in supported child's pose. So your cushion should feel quite comfortable. If they feel a little too high, you can always take one cushion away. Allow your shoulders, arms to feel heavy and soften. Remember, if you have knee issues, you can always fold a blanket underneath your knees or at the back of your knees. We're not here in child's pose for long. Inhaling compassion. Exhaling kindness. Inhaling kindness. Exhaling compassion. Perhaps in your mind's eye, you visualize either yourself or a loved one, a family member, a friend, anybody that you wish to extend your kindness and compassion to. Inhaling, lift your gaze, coming back up. Take a moment here. We're going to come into supported bridge. So turn your sit bones so that your cushions are behind your lower back here for the moment. So you can either use your cushions or you can use your bolster. So you can have so it depends on how high you want the support underneath your lower back here. So your supported bridge, your lower back, your sacrum will be on your cushions. So think about what height you want. The advantage of using cushions is you can change and you can take one cushion out once you're at. So I'm just going to move those to the side. So I've got those ready. My feet are planted on the earth, knees bent. I'm going to lower onto my back here. Come down with support. Perhaps you want to place a blanket underneath your head, folded blanket. And bring your heels in towards your sit bones. Inhale, lift your pelvis and hips off the earth. And then place one cushion underneath your hips and pelvis at your lower back. So your tailbone is in the middle of your cushions. That's enough for you. You can stay here. If you want to create a little bit more of a sensation in your lower body here, you can place another cushion underneath your hips and pelvis. And then maybe even one more. And then shuffle around until you feel comfortable there. And then tuck your chin. Reach through your fingertips so that you sort of slide your shoulders away from your ears, your arms at an angle away from your body. Your feet are resting on the earth, your knees are bent. And then take a few breaths to soften into your supported bridge pose. Setu Bandhasan. Perhaps you close your eyes, perhaps you cover yourself with a blanket. Maybe you put on socks if your feet get cold. So you want to be super comfortable here and super warm. Connect with your heart space, visualize any color of your choosing, or perhaps you connect with green. There's a lotus flower here with 12 petals, and each of those petals is a word connected with the heart space. Kindness, compassion, forgiveness, joy. And you can write any word that you choose on all the other petals. Know that you are supported by your cushions or bolster and the earth. You are safe here. 3 more breaths here. And then on your in breath, let's bring in our knees towards our heart center. Check that you're still supported on your sacrum and lower back here. And then let's reach up to the sky with our toes. I've put my socks on to be cozy and warm here. So we're here in supported shoulder stand. My feet, my toes are relaxed and soft. I'm soft through my knees. I'm allowing the weight of gravity. So I'm feeling the sensation of gravity down my legs. So your legs can be more upright. The further your legs are away from your heart space, the less heavy they feel. The more towards your heart space they are, the more the sense of gravity feels heavier. So you decide on what sensation you want to experience here. So you can have more of a 90-degree angle or a more acute angle. Make sure that you are supported underneath your sacrum, that your tailbone is still in the middle of your bolster or cushions. Closing your eyes. And again, visualize the 12-petaled lotus flower at your heart space. And connect with words associated with the heart space. Love, understanding, empathy, sweetness, patience, faith, devotion, trust, kindness, compassion, understanding. And tranquility. One more breath here. And then begin to fold in your knees towards your heart. And then bring one foot to the earth, followed by the other. And lift your hips and pelvis ever so slightly so that you can shuffle your cushions or your bolster underneath your knees, so that your knees and the backs of your legs are resting on your cushions or bolster. Allow your feet to turn out. We're here in Shavasana with support underneath our knees. If you want to cover yourself with a blanket, reach for your blanket. So perhaps you cover yourself with your blanket. Perhaps you cover your head with a scarf so that your eyes are covered, maybe with an eye pillow. perhaps even an eye mask or a thick woolly sock. Make sure that you're warm and cozy here. Shuffle your shoulders down away from your ears, slightly tucking your chin. Allow your palms to face up, fingers gently curled. Your legs feel heavy. Your feet are turning out and away from each other. Eyes are softly closed. Your breath is long, deep, steady. As you breathe in, draw the breath right down into your belly. Allow your belly to expand, ribs to open, chest to rise. As you breathe out, draw your navel to the spine. Allow your ribs to curl, chest to fall. Soften into the earth as you do this. Inhale, rib, belly, ribs, chest rise up to meet the sky. As you exhale, navel, ribs, chest settle into the earth. Inhaling, uplifting, exhaling, grounding. And now I invite you to draw your awareness to the points of connection between your body and the earth. Your heels, your legs, your hips and pelvis, your back body, the middle of your back, your upper back, your shoulders, arms, backs of hands, the back of your head. All these points connected with the earth. Allow them to settle, feel heavy, melting into the earth below. And now I invite you to take your awareness to the points of your body that are being caressed or touched by the air around you. Your toes, tops of your feet, fronts of your legs, your knees, your fingers, the inside of your elbows, tops of your shoulders, your chin, your nose, your eyebrow center, the crown of your head, the front of your whole body, caressed, touched by the air, the whole of your back body, supported by the earth. Feeling the warmth of the earth below you, the coolness of the air above you. The sensations both warm and cold. The sensations both hard and soft. The sensation of darkness and light. The sensation of the in-breath, the out-breath. The sense of the feminine and the masculine within. The yin and the yang. The harmony between your body, within your body, outside of your body. 3 more long breaths here, experiencing all these sensations. The earth below, the sky above, the hardness of the earth, the hardness of your bones, the softness of the air, the softness of your skin, the warmth of your body on the earth, the coolness of your body in space. Notice how those qualities are echoed within your body. The coolness of the breath, the warmth of the breath, how the breath is warmed through your body. The cool breath that comes in leaves your body much warmer. Knowing that your body transforms the quality of air as it travels through your heart space. That you are the one that adapts to change, that creates change, that welcomes change and gifts change through all the qualities of your heart, kindness, compassion, understanding, joy. Begin to deepen and lengthen your breath, inhaling, allowing your belly to expand, ribs to open, chest to rise, lifting. And on the out breath, draw your navel to the spine, ribs curl, chest falls, grounding, coming back into your physical self. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, navel, ribs, chest. With your next breath, begin to curl and uncurl your fingers and toes. Making those movements even bigger with your next breath, rotating your wrists and ankles. And now let's stretch out through our arms and legs with the next breath. So making those movements even bigger. As you exhale, hugging your knees, give yourself a little hug. Perhaps you gently roll on your lower back. Let's reach overhead, ideally with your left arm, and roll onto your side. And rest there for a moment in Sleeping Krishna. And then with helping hands, coming up to your comfortable seat, taking your time. Perhaps you keep yourself covered with your blanket. Ground down through your sit bones, lengthen through your spine, keeping your eyes closed for the moment. Hands resting on your knees, thumb and index touching. Feel the coolness of the air that you have now risen up into, the warmth of the earth just beneath you. Know that your heart is the meeting place for that above and that below, that outside, the without and within. Let's bring your hands together in prayer at your heart center. Rub your palms briskly to create a little bit of warmth. And then place your palms over your eyes and then open your eyes into your palms. Parting your fingers, draw your hands down your face, letting the light in. Return your hands to your heart center. Take a full breath in through your nose, out through open mouth. Closing our practice with one Om and 3 Shantis. Inhale fully. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hands to your eyebrow center. Dhanyavad. And thank you all for joining me. I feel so chilled. I hope you're feeling really relaxed. I am. I'm